Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Inside the Distance podcast. I am your host, GK, the fight analyst, and this here is my man, Aaron the dog. He's back on the podcast. What's up, man? How's it going?
Hey. It's been a couple weeks. Last week, I don't know if it was said or not, but unfortunately, my dog Chico decided to get into some trash, we'll say. He ended up being okay. But I was in the emergency room. So, I missed covering the fights last week, and I think I paid for it because I had one of my worst betting nights of the year or maybe of my betting career. So I had to get back on here, obviously. We had the interview with Jillian last week. This is Jillian's card. I get it that the Korean Zombie and whatever his name is, whatever. Korean Zombie and Ortega. I'm sorry, Brian Ortega. I'm back at home though. Getting to see my mom for the first time in a year, so
that's great.
This is the new background here. This is my basement that I grew up in, yelling at fights in originally. But I'm super excited, particularly about the main event and about Jillian's fight. If I'm being 100, which I always am.
Yeah, man. I'm doing great. Got another fight card coming up. Bellator's on right this second, and actually, I want to see how Mike Kimball is doing because I was betting on him, and I can't see it because I am completely frozen. But anyways, great night of fight. We got fights on tonight. Bellator 249. We got UFC this weekend. We got a great boxing match. Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. That's gonna be an amazing fight, and it's live, free on ESPN too. It's gonna be great. But as far as last weekend, I hit some bumps. I went too big on some plays that I definitely shouldn't have, and I went too low on plays that I should have went bigger on. And I was more confident on those. It was just a night where I was really second guessing myself. Unfortunately, we hit some snags early on, but once we hit that main card, things were flying on all cylinders, and we at least were able to get back some of the units that I screwed away in the beginning of the night, because Barbosa and Corey Sandhagen really pulled through for the end of the night. And what's his name too? The guy that beats the law. Yeah, I was big on him as well.
Yeah. I was huge on Makwan Amirkhani. I will make no secret about it. So that did end up biting me. It's been me several times before. Makwan is one of my favorite guys in the UFC, and I made a lot of money with him. I've lost a lot of money with him.
It's just he didn't fight his normal fight though. He fought way too composed because he didn't want to gas like he normally does. And
Barbosa's really, really good. He's still really good. He's getting more comfortable at 145. He looked better this time than ever. He looked like he. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they got for him next. I think that the 145 division though is going to have a lot of new champions in 2021. I think more than one change of the belt in 2021. No offense to Alexander, but
it's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be interesting because there's we have
our next contender tonight.
Yeah, exactly. We have Korean Zombie and Ortega. We're getting the next contender after that. Then we have Zabit taking on Yair Rodriguez. That's the next contender probably after that. So it's going to be quite interesting. This 145-pound division is wide open. And then if Barbosa starts making his run, you also have Calvin Kattar too. There's a lot of fighters at 145.
Yeah, they're going to be treating Barbosa as if he's on a 2-fight win streak too.
Technically he should be. Let's be real. Sure. I really would love to see a Calvin Kattar Edson Barbosa fight though.
Yeah, that seems to make the most sense here.
I think that's a fantastic fight.
So, but interesting card we got here. Interesting is always a good code word for not the best. Maybe making sure that Khabib card looks okay towards the end of the month.
That's exactly what they're doing. You know that.
But again, there's some good fights here. Maybe we're gonna learn after the prelim main event about who this next dude is. Yeah. So we'll see. But I'm ready to jump into this if you are, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's get right down to it. All right. So first fight up on the preliminary card is in the 135-pound division between Saeed Nurmagomedov and Mark Streigel. Right now, Nurmagomedov is a massive minus 400 favorite, and the comeback on Streigel is a plus 325 underdog. What do you got?
Well, I mean, so far, Saeed has been a little bit kind of underwhelming for me so far in the UFC, if I'm being perfectly honest. Obviously, the Ricardo Ramos fight, the one time I bet against him, he showed up.
Yep, same here.
Looked fantastic, and I'm just like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, we get to Raoni Barcelos fight. I'm like, all right, here we go, baby.
That was a very, very close fight, though. And then Barcelos only won because of like a late takedown to really seal the deal.
But still, I mean, I expected more. Expected more than I was getting.
That's true.
Now we're back to like a guy that Saeed would be fighting on the regional scene in Mark Streigel.
Absolutely.
Mark Streigel is not UFC caliber. I get he's 18-2, but he's just this guy who's continually tried to show up on these short notice opportunities. He's finally getting the shot. I think he's had a few almost fights in the UFC here. So I think they were just anybody they offered to him. He was like, yup. And now maybe he goes in there and we see this new improved guy that I've never seen before, and he blows the doors off Saeed. I think Saeed looks similar to the Ricardo Ramos fight. I see a finish in this fight for Saeed, even maybe possibly a submission, but some sort of finish inside the first 2 rounds, I would say. I just think he's much better than Streigel. He's bigger than Streigel, and I just don't see. So I don't know what the odds are on this, but I'd go inside the distance to cut it down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably like minus 200, but let me see.
I bet minus 410. I have it at minus 410.
But for him to win inside the distance.
Oh, inside the distance.
Plus 275.
Dude, that's the play. I just think I get it that so far in the UFC, 3 of the 4 fights for Saeed have gone to decision. But those are against guys like Justin Scoggins, who at a point was a legit guy in the UFC. It was against Raoni Barcelos.
And he arguably beat him too. You know what I mean? It was a very close fight. That was a very close fight.
Yeah, that definitely was a close fight. The Barcelos fight, I get it. And
all high-level fighters, like way beyond Mark Streigel.
And I mean, even the guys outside the UFC he was getting decisions to were guys with 31 fights, 25-6 type records, 11-2. I get it, Streigel's 18-2, but I just don't rate him that highly. I'm not sure he's going to be in the condition to go to the full 3 rounds. And Saeed knows that if he can't put on a performance against a Streigel type guy, he's going to have trouble ever getting out of that early prelim spot. So this is where he's got to shine. And I'm going to take the plus 275 shot if I were betting it. That's what I'd be taking.
Yep. I agree with you. I think he's going to absolutely run through Streigel here. He's the far better fighter everywhere. Yeah. Like literally everywhere. Striking, he's better. Grappling, he's better. Submissions, he's better. He's just better everywhere. Unfortunately, the minus 400 price tag is just ridiculously steep. You can throw him in a few parlays here and there. Obviously, minus 400 is really not going to do much. And, add a little bit of value, but it's not going to do a whole lot. But, cutting it down, taking that inside the distance prop, it's pretty damn good. Plus 275. I think that's an absolute steal. And I've talked about this with other people in like other groups. Normally, the first fight on the card is either round 1 or a decision. That's all we're getting. I'm telling you right now, if Saeed's winning this fight, he's winning it in round 1. If not,
so what is Saeed round 1?
That's a good question. That is a very good question. So see, that's why we do this right now. Nurmagomedov to win in round 1 is plus 500, plus 550.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that it's worth a gamble. And yes, we're gambling.
Even like Saeed under 1.5 if you really think he's going to feel it out in the first. And I mean, but give it a shot. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Next up in the light heavyweight division, we have a fight between Antiguilov and Maxime Grisham. Right now, Grisham is a minus 345 favorite. And a comeback on Antiguilov is a plus 285 underdog. Who do you got?
Man, Antiguilov. Do you know how old Antiguilov is?
No, but he looks like he's about 45.
33. This is absolute. He's in the athletic prime of his career right now. And if you remember the Craig fight, he wilted in a minute?
Something like that. He's lost all of his last 3 or 4 fights within 1 round, I believe.
He hasn't been out of the first round since 2016, where he ended the fight in the second round. Before that, he hadn't been out of the first round since 2013. He's not been to the third round in his entire career. He has not been to the third round.
So we're saying the under 1.5 is only minus 135. I think that's a steal.
Yeah, that's a steal. The only way he's winning is in the first round. That's the only way he's winning.
Yeah, because he has gas issues.
And obviously. I'm talking Antiguilov.
Yeah,
Grisham, I don't think even tries to finish this fight in the first 3 minutes, at all. I think he literally just moves and jabs and kicks him in the body. And sees can I kick him in the
I feel like he's just gonna dead him on his way in, trying to go for a takedown.
I mean, but all I'm saying is Grisham has no reason to advance in the first 3 minutes of the fight.
He's got a massive size advantage as well.
And that's what I'm saying. He can just sit back and pop him with shots, pop him with the body shots, see if one of those teep kicks puts him down or something. Otherwise, I think he puts him down in the second round very quickly. I literally think he just ends him in the end of the first round just due to Antiguilov gassing out within the first 2 minutes trying to get a takedown. Knowing he can't do a second round. Yeah, I think you're right. I got Grisham all day here.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is an absolutely solid parlay piece, and frankly, it's a parlay piece at inside the distance too. I think he gets the third round.
But Grisham by KO is what? Minus 135.
Yeah, on Bovada, I always do inside the distance because it won't let me parlay KO or subs on Bovada. I have to do inside the distance to parlay it.
And that's minus 165. Man, Grisham by submission plus 1,100?
I may just take a shot at that.
Why not?
I mean, Antiguilov, first of all, Grisham has several submissions in his career.
Several.
Antiguilov has been submitted several times. By the second round, the sub finds itself. This is one that I'm being honest, man. If I was betting a lot this weekend and Antiguilov wins, I'm going to be in trouble because he is in all of my parlays. If I'm playing, Grisham should not lose this fight. This is just if he loses, he was on all of the steroids in PFL, all of them.
Yeah, I mean this would be arguably his worst loss of his career, bar none, the worst loss of his career.
You cannot lose to Antiguilov here.
If you want to be in the UFC or think you are a UFC caliber, you do not lose.
Yes, Antiguilov hasn't won in 3 years. Beat Joachim Christensen. That's dude.
A jobber, a guy who's not in the UFC.
Yeah, let's move on. We've talked way too much about this fight.
That's true. All right. Next up in the lightweight division, we have a fight between Faris Ziam.
Faris, I think.
Faris Ziam and Jamie Malarkey. Right now, Malarkey's a minus 150 favorite, and the comeback on Ziam is a plus 130 underdog. Who you got?
Man, I wouldn't bet on this fight at all. Malarkey being a favorite is just one of those things that I never thought I'd see in the UFC, to be honest. Malarkey is his third fight now in the UFC? Second fight in the UFC. Okay. So he faced Brad Riddell in his first fight. Ended up like taking a lot of shots, actually.
A lot.
Like,
yeah.
Being pretty damn tough. I will admit that, but I don't remember Malarkey doing a whole lot against Riddell, except for showing a good heart and being able to go through like a busted nose, which I feel like every single fight in the UFC Malarkey will have. He'll have a busted nose at some point in blood. He just is that kind of fighter, that pale, pasty, bloody nose fighter. So Ferris will probably hit him with a few shots here. Appears to have a decent, kind of kickboxing game overall, but Ferris made Don Madge look like a grappling wizard, and Don Madge doesn't have any sort of grappling pedigree as far as I know. He's a straight kickboxer. And I don't think Don was exactly going to takedowns because he was afraid to stand up in his fight either with Ferris. I just think that is where Ferris had such a glaring weakness that's where the fight is to be won. And Malarkey, I rate his grappling probably better. So I'll take Malarkey by decision, I guess. But it also could end inside the distance. Because I know these guys, you're going to go over these numbers as well with the 4 decisions. But I don't know. This is me being maybe a little over.
I'm even going even more in depth with that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Malarkey has been to 1 decision, win or lose, 1 time since 2014. 1 time he's been to a decision, win or lose in the last 6 years. Mm-hmm. And Ziam has been to a decision 2 times in the last 6 years. Okay. That's it. And we're talking that's their entire record. So in like 15 and 13, that's 20. 15 and 13, that's 28 fights.
I'll give you a number. Both went to a decision in their last fight.
Okay, that's great. But when 2 guys that normally do not go to a decision, you're going to get some type of
We're not going to spend a lot of time discussing James Malarkey and Ferris Ziam.
No, yeah,
I'm
definitely.
home with my mother, and I'm not spending a whole lot of my family time talking about this bullshit fight.
No,
I'm with Jamin, Mr. Espinosa here. Pass next.
All right.
Our fans know what they're fucking talking about. Thank you.
All right. Yes. We're passing on this fight as far as a betting standpoint, but I'm telling you guys, there is value on the under 2.5 rounds. Plus 150. Plus 150. There's definitely value there. Both these guys are finishers. Win or lose, they either get finished or they get a finish. So I'm taking a shot on dog money on guys that normally finish their fights. I'm just gonna take a shot. Plus 150. I mean, why not? I mean,
yeah. I respect it.
If it was 1.5, I probably want to take it. But 2.5 at plus 150, I'm taking a shot.
Okay, fine.
All right. Next up, we have a fight in the middleweight division between Jun Young Park and John Phillips. Right now, Park is a minus 260 favorite, and to come back on John Phillips is a plus 220 underdog. Who do you got?
Well, I have a very strict rule. It's a very easy rule, and it's so far made me plenty of money, except for one 14-second banana peel of a moment. And the rest of the time, I've been rolling this money of fading the white Mike Tyson, John fucking Phillips. Now, sometimes you really got to invest heavy to make any sort of money on John Phillips losing, because, I mean, but he loses in a very reliable way.
He does.
He loses inside the distance by submission.
Yes.
He does that over and over and over again, unless your name's Jack Marshman, where it's like, he's the one guy who may be like as trash as John Phillips, who's been in the UFC. And so they just like threw hammers at each other for fucking
and just no one went down.
Yeah, and no one went down. So Jung Young Park here. I am Jung Young Park submission. That's the bet.
Yes.
Give me that price.
That price, last I saw it, give me 1 second, let me find it. I think it was plus 335. There is no way you should not be betting that price. That's the
only play. That's the only play. Charles Bird did it. Kevin Holland did it. And
Park has what 3 wins by submission.
Yeah, he's got obviously he's got 3 wins by submission. He's got a good rear naked choke.
He's got good grappling as well.
That's how Phillips gets finished. Phillips is going to come out, throw for 2 minutes before he's exhausted once again. And so unless he hits that 14-second Amagdovsky banana peel, which Park is 2 weight classes bigger than Alan Amagdovsky is. So it's just Park's a big guy for this division.
Yeah, he towered over Sam. I think didn't he fight Sam Alvey, and he looked even bigger than Sam Alvey when they fought.
No, I don't think he fought Marc-Andre Barreau.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking the other Asian fighter that knocked out Sam Alvey. My bad.
Yes, you're thinking the other one.
I'm sorry, guys. My bad.
But yeah, I mean, I take Park by submission plus 380, and live with the results here. Submitting John Phillips is about as easy of a submission as you can get in the UFC.
Yep, absolutely. I think that's your only play here. I wouldn't want to take Park at minus 260. I just don't like that. I just don't like it. I think the avenue of victory is right there. Take him down, ground and pound a little bit, soften him up, take his neck, choke him out. That's all she wrote. Plus 335. The guy has multiple submissions on his record. He knows how to take people down. He went for 10 takedowns just in his last fight alone and was successful on 50%. So he went 5 for 10 on takedowns in his last fight against Andre Baralt. So I think that was impressive there because he's way better than Phillips, immensely better than Phillips. So I think he should have no problems taking Phillips down, ground and pound, and getting a submission.
If he gets 5 takedowns on John Phillips, he's getting a submission.
He don't need to get 5 takedowns. He needs one.
I know. I agree.
He's not even getting up.
Actually, if he gets 5 takedowns, maybe he doesn't get the submission because he's that much worse at grappling than I realized. Never mind. If he gets 5 takedowns, I'm worried.
That's true.
2 to 3. I want 2 to 3.
I want 1 takedown and a submission.
After that, I'm throwing up the surrender cobra. If I see 5 takedowns, I'm like, oh no.
All right.
Speaking of submissions, let's get to that.
Yes. This is the Inside the Distance featured bouts for this weekend in the women's flyweight division with a fight between Jillian the Savage Robertson taking on Poliana Beltelho. Right now, Jillian's a minus 210 favorite, and the comeback on Poliana is a plus 175 underdog. I know who you're picking. Because I'm in the same boat, but let's hear the breakdown, my man.
Yeah. So first of all, seeing the money coming in on Poliana, go ahead. Get that money in there on Poliana.
Seriously, please.
Please. I'm asking you, keep it coming in. Minus 210. You can keep it coming in for Poliana is not winning this fight, period. Jillian is beyond ready for this fight. And this matchup is perfect for her. She spends 60+% of her time in the octagon on top of her opponent on the ground. That is top 10 all time in the UFC. Poliana spends 42% of her time in the octagon on the ground with her opponent on top of her. Not only that, but she likes to give up her back, give up her neck as she's getting up to the ground. She likes to just use physicality to get up to the ground. She's cuts a lot of weight to get down to 125 as well. Jillian walking around at 127 all week at Fight Island. She's not cutting weight tonight. She's in the gym with Dean, just getting a light round in and getting a full night of sleep. There's just so many factors here. The matchup overall is for Jillian. I'm keeping it real simple here. I'm betting round 1, round 2, and I'm going to bet her straight up as well. But yeah, I'm max betting here. This is a absolute perfect matchup for her. She's number 14 right now. I think she moves up and fights somebody within the top 10 after this fight, hopefully by around December or January of this next year. So I really like it. Poliana just hasn't shown any sort of improvement so far in the UFC. Now she's fighting at 125, former strawweight. So I just think that Jillian has this all day. and it's going to be a submission. I think most likely in round 1, but I'll take a bet on round 2 as well. And yeah, my hair will be red on fight night. Waiting for the hair dye right now to come in, but this will be a red fro on fight night, and I'll be counting up that money for another Jillian win. I'm looking forward to it.
I love it. Yes, this is the inside the distance lock of the night. I know we don't normally use that term, but it is. So it's our lock of the night. Our red hot money making machine, Jillian the Savage Robertson, is gonna come in for us, and she's gonna get the submission. She's gonna get it within 2 rounds, and she's gonna look damn well good doing it. Telling you, another win inside the distance. She's gonna keep racking up these records here because she's gonna keep tacking on to her already record that she has.
Yeah,
so
she's a UFC record. Yeah, she's a UFC record holder already. She has already said this week she's not keeping a secret what she's going in there to do. Pollyanna saying things such as she's not worried about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
She better be worried. She better be fucking worried.
It's music to Jillian's ears. And everything like that. She doesn't have to keep it a secret what she's going to do.
No, because no one is better than her at doing it.
Not one person. 25 years old, only getting better. She's been over at Fight Island for 3 weeks now. Pollyanna landed on Monday at Fight Island, had to quarantine for 48 hours, is used to Brazilian time, was mentioning that. Also was mentioning how she was preparing for Maria Moros for about a month ago before Marina got injured. And so she had to restart her camp late. You look at the interviews today and Jillian full of color, full of water, full of everything, just smiling for her interview. I mean, it's every single telltale signs there. I get it with female MMA. You see a 300 line, you're tempted to always go the opposite way. That's what you're seeing right here with the betting line. Oh, she has a 30-second finish. It's not happening here. And Jillian Robertson is not Lauren Mueller. I am looking forward to talking with Jillian after the fight, having her back on here as well. She is only just getting started right now, and the entire division can only hide for so much longer. But this girl is coming, and she's coming quick. So, Jillian submission round 1, maybe round 2, but Pollyanna is not making it through this fight, and Pollyanna is definitely not winning. So, let's go, Jillian. We are rooting for you.
And then you talk about she's only 25, right? 25-year-old Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Black belt. Black belt under Dean Thomas at 25 years old. Okay.
Yeah, it's just look at the rest of that division. Look at the ages next to the rest of that division. You're seeing 33, 34, 35.
Because they're all strawweights or bantamweights that are coming down to a new division. Just trying to reinvent themselves and their careers. Whereas Jillian, she's been 125 forever, and she's going to run through this division.
Yeah, and she could be cutting down to 115, killing herself and shortening her career on the back end. And said she's staying at 125, where she is the strongest grappler. She can have, they can point out the reach, they can point out whatever they want. It doesn't matter once you're on that ground. So
it'll be quite interesting to see if she does fight Valentina.
I mean,
I
would love to see that. I would love to see that at the end of next year.
Yeah, I think that would be a fantastic fight because, if you really look at it, who's in front of Jillian that she can't beat? No one.
Not one person.
She could beat everyone in front of her.
If they try to keep hiding Cynthia Calvillo, that's the fight I want for her next. Personally, I would love for her to call out Cynthia Calvillo.
I don't think Cynthia Calvillo should be as highly ranked as she is because now, if you put her out there, she's technically one fight away from a title shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Cynthia Calvillo is overrated, and she must be given something to Dana to be getting up this high on cards. That's all I gotta say.
All right, I have no comments on that. But all right, let's keep it moving.
I got my sources.
All right. Next up in the lightweight division, we have a fight between Matus Gamero, I believe and Grisham oh Jesus. Okay.
Kutaledaze.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm gonna name him Grisham. All right. So,
yeah. So I look at this as a grappler versus striker matchup.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And but let me get out the betting lines. Gamrot is a minus 300 favorite in the comeback on Grisham, who's a short notice replacement from Mustafayev, and he's a plus 250 underdog.
Yeah, so Matus is what I'm going to call Grisham.
Yeah.
Or Gamor. So Matus is a minus 300 favorite. He's the grappler. He also faced Gary Tonin in a grappling competition and lost. Therefore, I think he has this line. But
and he went over 7 minutes with Gary Tonin in that.
Yeah, exactly.
That match
Grisham, but Grisham 11-2 here. I mean, he had a quick finish over Felipe Silva in his last fight, which probably made him available for the short notice here. Other than that, I don't really know too much about the opponents he's faced in his career so far. He has a decision loss to Oliver Enkamp early on, but this is just one I'm kind of staying away from in general. I don't really know how good Grisham is really in Gamoro or Matus, whichever you want to say. He appears to be pretty good in the grappling department, but, I also am not sure, like he's faced Norman Park twice, and he's beat Norman Park twice, so that's definitely a very good sign. But other than that, I'm not too familiar with too many guys on his record either, but they appear to be good guys from the Eastern European MMA circuit, so I don't know. You can inform me. I was able to find a lot of tape on either of these guys, and so I'm looking at paper.
Yeah, Matus is a really high-level prospect. They really thought highly of him coming into the UFC. That's why they gave him Mustafayev as a dancing partner. They think he can beat him. Mustafayev is a very hard debut for pretty much anybody. That's a hard debut. And they think he was going to win that fight. And I do think he was going to win that fight too. Then you take Grisham. He is a decent prospect, but Matus 17-0. He was a KSW lightweight and featherweight champion simultaneously. He was the lightweight champion at first. I think he defended it 3 or 4 times. Then he dropped down to 145 because he wiped away their lightweight division. Got the 145-pound belt, and now here he is fighting in the UFC. I think he's a pretty good prospect. He's the number one prospect out of Poland. Period. He is the Polish prospect, other than Jan Blachowicz or Matus Gamrot. They're 1A, 1B of the top 2 Poland fighters in MMA. Minus 300 is not a price tag I would like to pay. Most likely, I do think this is going to be a grapple-heavy match for Matus. So I think you can get him via decision, minus 135. If you throw a unit on that, it's not bad. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 230. I don't like it too much, but that's most likely where it's going to happen. It's going to be a grinding decision win for Matus. He's just way better in the grappling, like immensely better. Grisham doesn't have the best takedown defense. If you're able to watch some of his stuff, he does. That is his glaring weakness. He is a good striker. He's going to come forward, but I just think he's just going to time the takedowns very, very well. And down, just keep repeating it, just beating him up on the mat and wearing him out.
Okay. I just wasn't able to find the tape, and on paper it looks like what you're saying. So, I know.
With KSW, it's sometimes very, very hard to find a lot of tape on these guys. So we can do as much as we can.
His paper looks really good. Like he's faced 18-3 guys, 25-4.
Yeah, he's not fighting bums over him on
paper looks
right.
Yeah. So I think that's probably. This is just a card that it was hard for me to get some reads on some fights, and this is one where I assume it's right, but it's a minus 300, so it makes it hard to look too far into it.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell people to lay the minus 300. Granted, I do like parlaying Matus and Saeed as a two-teamer and bring it down to like minus 135 or minus 110. I do think that's a great double. I think that's a fantastic double because I do think those are two solid fighters that are way overmatched. Like they're way better than their opponents.
I mean, I would throw in Grisham with that.
Yeah, I mean that
seems like a 3 that you can do.
I think that's super solid. Let's see, minus one then plus 115. It's not even bad. 50 wins you $65. That's not bad at all.
None of those 3 are so superior to the opponents they're facing. It's a really
they're that much better than all their opponents. Yeah,
and you're getting plus money there. I do. Yeah, that's not.
I think that's great. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So next up, this is a fantastic fight in the they're fighting at 145, right? Is it 145?
Yeah, it's at 145.
Because I guess since it's a short notice fight, we have a fight between Thomas Almeida and Jonathan Martinez at 145 pounds. The return of Thomas Almeida hasn't fought in over 2 years, so it's could be a fantastic fight. All right. Right now, the lines are Almeida's a minus 135 favorite. In the short notice, Jonathan Martinez is a plus 115 underdog. What do you got?
I think this is a tough break for Thomas Almeida. To be honest with you, Perez was his original opponent. That was going to be at 135. Almeida is in no way a 45 fighter. This 10-pound weight advantage is going to be for Martinez coming in here on short notice.
Agreed.
So, has so much power at 135, and now he gets that 11-pound cushion to 46. That's just, I don't think it's a good call by Thomas Almeida. Martinez, for the most part, too. I mean, he had that split decision loss to Ewell, but besides
I think he beat one.
I agree. Besides that, though, I mean, he's looked really good. The Frankie Science fight went into the third round before he got the finish, but again, like those knees are always coming from Martinez, and I think that Almeida, when he had his first loss in the UFC to Cody, lost a little bit of his mojo. He beat Morales in his next fight, but Albert Morales is just garbage. So, like, after that, though, Jimmy Rivera really laid it on him hard in that fight, and then after that, Rob Font starched him and put him out for 2 years. So I think that coming back against Alejandro Perez was a really good spot for Almeida at 135, a guy who, like, for the most part, isn't putting you away. Martinez is going to put you away and be trying to put you away. Now at 145, going to be the much bigger man. This coming on the short notice to get to 146, Martinez is going to be able to do that. And I think that Martinez may get another knee. You know, he's going to be throwing those knees at Almeida. And I think that he may get him. I think this is a tough matchup for Almeida after 2 years off. I'll take Martinez, dog money.
Yeah, this is a very, very, very hard fight for me to gauge because, you know, we don't know how Almeida is coming back.
And this is the beginning of the main card. Not that it matters. It's all on ESPN Plus, but
yeah, this is the beginning of the main card, everybody. But this is a great fight. Martinez is super tough. He's looked great in his UFC career thus far. He missed weight by like 5 pounds, I think, his last fight.
Yep.
So he should be able to make 145 easily. And like we know, Thomas Almeida is a normal 135 pounder, so that extra 10 pounds, it's gonna definitely make
he's not a big 135er either, bro.
No. Like, it's gonna make a dent in his cardio for big time. And what I've been hearing out of his camp is that Martinez has been drilling a ton of wrestling with Yusuf Zalal and I forgot somebody else. And he's been training with Chris Gutierrez as well. So he's been doing a ton of grappling. So I don't know if he's going to come in and get and go grapple heavy in this fight. Maybe he does and wear out Thomas Almeida. I don't know. That's where it's hard to gauge. I'm not advising to bet on either side, but if I'm choosing here, I'd probably side with Jonathan Martinez. there's too many intangibles with Almeida coming off that 2-year layoff. We don't know what we're going to see from him.
What's the under 2.5 on this one?
That's a good question because I think that might be a good spot.
That's a
minus 135.
It's if you piece that with minus. What other one do we have with the Grisham, and what other one? The Saeed one you wanted a minus 2.5?
The Ziam and Malarkey under 2.5.
Okay. Well, what about those two? Ziam, Malarkey, and that one. This one.
That's gonna get you to plus 300 easy because one's a dog at dog money.
Yeah, so exactly.
So you got the under 2.5 rounds already dropped to plus 145 because people are hitting it because they know. And then you have the Almeida under 2.5 put you at plus 326. That's not bad
for those two. Yeah, I mean
just
that's not bad. Yeah, that's not a bad shot at it. And if Almeida somehow, Almeida's got good jiu-jitsu, right? Am I thinking of Almeida as the right guy or no?
No, he's just a knockout artist.
God, who was I just getting? I don't know who I was getting him confused with.
He also, if you look at the resume of Almeida, he truly has not beaten anyone spectacular either. He really hasn't. Yeah. Anybody, any step up in competition, he's lost to.
Yeah. I mean, Anthony Burkett is probably his best one.
That's crazy if you think about it too. Yeah, it really is. Or Albert Morales. That's probably his best one.
You think that? Yeah, it's about Anthony Burkett's level.
Yeah, that's literally his best win, guys. I mean, Jonathan Martinez. I think he's right. He should be riding a 4-fight win streak here. Yep. I think he beat Ewell. He beat the dog shit out of Frankie Science. I know Frankie Science is 40 years old and hasn't fought in forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta side with Jonathan Martinez here, plus 115. And that under 2.5 rounds, minus 135 is not bad either.
I'm really not sure who I was thinking of. I don't think it was even Oliveira, man. I think I was thinking of like Jimmy Rivera mixed with someone else. So like I was like way off. I think I was thinking of Jimmy Rivera, if I'm being honest. Because he does look like Jimmy Rivera. He looks just like Jimmy Rivera.
I love it.
Rivera's got good jiu-jitsu, right?
He's got good wrestling.
Damn it. Whatever. Let's move on.
All right. Next up in the welterweight division, we have a fight between Claudio Silva and James Krauss. Right now, James Krauss is a minus 155 favorite, and the comeback on Silva is a plus 135 underdog. What do you got?
Yeah, I think you were saying it the right way. I think Silva should be the favorite in this fight.
I do. That's what I thought. So yeah,
James Krauss is America's like darling lately.
He really is. Dude,
take a fight at any weight.
I love James Krauss. I'm a massive fan of James Krauss. I really is. He's one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet.
He's a great coach.
He's an amazing coach. He's a company man. He'll go and fight whenever on a day's notice. He's like, I'm cornering somebody. You need someone to fight? Don't worry. Let me just get changed. I'll get in the ring. We're good. Yep. Don't worry. But
this is like not an easy fight here against Claudio Silva. Claudio Silva is a legit with a capital B black belt in jiu-jitsu. And we saw Krauss against a black belt in jiu-jitsu and Sergio Moraes, and he got to the third round, put him away, looked really, really good. So I do think Claudio Silva is a little better at getting it to the ground, however. And he's not going to be looking to fight this at the same range that Moraes was fighting that at in that fight. Moraes is kind of a long, rangier guy, so when he wasn't grappling, he was in the distance Krauss wanted to fight at. Claudio, even when he's not grappling, is going to be in close, in boxing range, in that phone booth, landing, I think, leg kicks and looking to get this to the ground. And I think he will get it to the ground. And then, it's how good is Krauss's jiu-jitsu. Even if it's good enough, I think Claudio may be able to get a decision. So it's hard to say decision or man, what a shame. Just got some breaking news on Cynthia Calvillo. She tested positive for COVID. She's out of her bout with Lauren Murphy. Now Liliana Sharikova is taking her place against Lauren Murphy. So, Cynthia Calvillo, I just got the announcement just now. So, anyways, sorry, back to this fight. I really like Claudio Silva. Yeah, breaking news. Only on this podcast, which, by the way, great job on all those other podcasts covering Cyril Gane and the Dija fight that's not happening. Good job, guys. Thank you. Anyways, this is why we go on Thursday nights. Damn it, I wish Gane was fighting, though. I wish Jake Collier could have gotten his fat ass over the fight.
Everybody was on the ladder, though. Why? I couldn't. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, Claudio Silva. I like him in this spot. I like him as the dog. I like getting dog money on him. I'm not going to overcomplicate it by trying to figure out if he gets the finish or not. I personally think he will, just because I do rate his jiu-jitsu that highly, and I do think he has some gas issues. So getting this finish might be the better idea. I believe Claudio is 38. Yeah, 38 years old. So that's another where it starts to get dicey here, but I'm going to take Claudio. I'll take him into dog money and just straight up.
Yeah, I'm siding with Claudio Silva here. I think he's a good dog money play. It's going to be interesting to see if he gets the finish here. I think Krauss does have some good jiu-jitsu chops. I know he's been finished by Jesse Taylor on the Tough House, who really isn't a jiu-jitsu fighter. He's just a wrestler. That'll take you down, Gandra out, and get a submission there. But he looked good against Sergio Moraes early on. He gassed Sergio Moraes out by not letting him get the submission. But Silva is way better than Moraes as far as jiu-jitsu and MMA jiu-jitsu goes as well. I'm taking a small shot on Silva. Just grapple fucking Krauss here and not get the finish, because just the line is just absurd. It's plus 450 for Silva to win by decision. It's not like this man has never won a decision. I think he's won at least almost half of his fights by decision.
Yeah, Claudio, he hasn't won by decision in the UFC since his debut, or since his first two fights, I should say, against Brad Scott and Leon Edwards. Edwards, he won a split decision over. That was in 2014, however. So he hasn't been in a decision in about 6 years.
This is true. But the people that he's finishing are not James Krauss. They're Nordine Taleb, they're Danny Roberts, and they're Cole Williams.
You don't think that Nordine Taleb and Danny Roberts are like right at James Krauss? I put James Krauss right in that is the second you find James.
I don't know. I think he's
Nordine Taleb
No, he's way better grapplers than both Danny Roberts and Nordine Taleb. Way.
Okay. So you're looking for your argument to get him the decision. I see. Okay.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He could sub him. He absolutely could sub him.
That's why I'm just happy with the dog money here.
No, absolutely. No. Go play it safe, guys. Take the dog money here. Take Silva plus 135. I'm just like the price of plus 450 on something that he's done before. He's gone to a decision. I mean, he went to a decision with Brad Scott. Brad fucking Scott. He went to a decision.
2014.
Brad fucking Scott.
A long time ago. All right.
But no, you're right. That's a long time ago. He's now 38 years old.
So he knows he's got to get it done. He don't want to go 15 minutes. He's like, I got to get in here and use my jiu-jitsu. He's
definitely going to use his jiu-jitsu. But anyway, guys, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter here. Take Claudio Silva plus 135. Also to note, James Krauss is taking this fight on 2 weeks' notice.
Of course. He doesn't believe in taking fights on it's 8 weeks are for pussies.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, as you were saying, he probably does need to get a finish here because Krauss could overwhelm him later on in the third round if he does gas. But I guess we will see. It's gonna be an interesting fight. I'm just taking a small shot, minuscule shot on that decision prop.
That's fair.
All right.
There's good props on this card.
Yeah, there really is. There's some great props on the card.
You just need to hit one or two of them to have a good night.
That's it, guys. That's it. Just one. Anyways, next up, we have a fight in the light heavyweight division between Modestas Vukauskas and Jimmy Crute. Right now, Crute is a massive minus 310 favorite. And come back, Abu Dabi is plus 255 underdog. What do you got?
Whew. Well, to bring up Espinosa's line again here, I like this as a dog or pass situation. Jim Crute at minus, what did you say, 300?
310.
I hate it. Don't like it. I think that he's got one round where he's going to really be pushing it. He's going to be really pushing round one, pushing the grappling. It worked out against Lord Juicer Olejniczak in his last fight. But Modesta is a much bigger, better, well-rounded version of Michael Olejniczak, in my opinion. So I think if Crute just goes in there looking to use the same type of game plan, I think that we could see Modesta losing a first round or, possibly getting better in the first round, then improving from there on out. So I like it as a bet straight up, and then a live bet potential situation as well for Modesta, depending on how he looks against Crute in that first round. So I just think that Crute's a little overvalued here, or overpriced, I should say, and the value's on Modesta, and he's got some real avenues to win and can definitely put away Jim Crute. He's a big 205er too. So I'm interested to see the weigh-ins here, but I anticipate that Crute's going to be the slightly smaller guy, but we'll see when they weigh in and everything like that. But yeah, I like Modesta, and I'll take him at the dog price. So looks like I like a couple dogs to start out on this main card here. So yeah, I've got, in fact, first three fights of the main card, I have dogs so far. So I've got Martinez, I've got Silva, and I got Modesta, actually. So Modesta by KO, round 2.
Really? It's interesting. Not saying you're wrong. I'm
not betting. I'm just betting on Modesta straight up, though. But
I do think it is a dog or pass situation. Definitely.
Yep.
Because, like we've seen before, that Crute does tend to gas if he doesn't get the finish. And then if you go here, if he does defend the takedowns well, like he did against Andreas Michailidis, and throw those back of the head elbows that he loves to do, he could knock him out in the first. Because I definitely bet against Modestas in his first fight, and I was quietly disappointed with the 5 or 6 back of the head elbows he threw at a guy. And then for some reason they decided, let's call the fight because this man fell through the door that was open behind him. How the hell is he supposed to know the damn door is behind him? And he's trying to get up. I mean, let the guy live a little bit. Can you just make him do some, like, I don't know, maybe some police things to see if he's like drunk or something that he can walk straight? I mean, you didn't even give him a chance. You just called the fight because he fell over. Give me a break. That's
bad luck, bro.
Man, that was some of the biggest BS I've ever lost in a single fight, because he was doing work on the feet. I thought he did really well in the kickboxing, but I don't know. He tried to go for a takedown, got about too many back of the head shots, and that was it. But that's neither here nor there. Modesta showed good takedown defense. If he does the same here, if he does use that big length that he has, the big, the legs and everything that he has, a big, strong base, he could get problems to Jimmy Crute. Because Jimmy Crute, I do think he needs to get the takedown. I don't think he needs to get the takedown. Don't get me wrong. He's got decent striking. But the thing is, Modestas is definitely bigger. He's definitely longer. He's got the 4-inch reach advantage. And Crute does have good jiu-jitsu. He's got good jiu-jitsu, and he wants to get it down. He showed that against Turkranov. He wants to get it down, and he wants to get the submission. But look what happened. He got swept, and that was all she wrote. Well, if he doesn't get Modestas down, I think Modestas is gonna get this all day on the feet. Can easily just pick him apart at range, and he's gonna gas if he doesn't get that fight to the mat. Period. And
Modesta looks like the much longer fighter of the two.
Oh, he is. He's taller by an inch.
6'3", 6'2". I think that Crute is about. I've met Jimmy Crute in person, and he was not.
You don't like him that much, do you?
Oh, Jimmy Crute's cool. Me and him are cool. My toe's a little dislocated still, but that's all good, Jimmy. Don't worry about it. I'll catch you next time.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah. I got you on that lateral drop next time we get to party after a fight, Jimmy Crute. I just think that maybe Jimmy comes in here and proves his salt on this minus 310.
Definitely possible.
Great. But I'm gonna take the European prospect here in Modesta. Yeah. You don't got to tell me, Espinosa. I know how strong Jimmy Crute is. He lateral dropped me in Boston after a fight, so I know firsthand how strong drunk Jimmy Crute is. But good luck, Jimmy.
All right, this is the only type of stuff you got Inside the Distance podcast, guys. We got real life situations here.
True story. I met Darren Stewart that night. I met Molly Meatball McCann. Some fighter named Jillian Robertson. It was a pretty good night. Manny Bermudez was still fighting in the UFC. That's why I was there. Good times. Yeah,
he wasn't eating too many damn cheeseburgers.
Hey. Leave Manny alone. He's training Josh Grisby hard now.
Oh, great. Can't wait for that. All right. Next up in our now newly minted co-main event of the evening, we have a fight in the flyweight division between Jessica Andraj and Caitlin Chukhigan. Right now, Andraj is a minus 150 favorite, and the comeback on Chukhigan is a plus 130 underdog. What do you got?
I hate who I'm about to pick because I am not a big fan of this woman and her.
Don't do it.
And her noise inside the octagon.
Oh my God! Don't do it.
I am going with the Kia. We're going to be hearing it for 15 minutes. We're going to be seeing lots of volume. She's going to be keeping her offer, and we're going to see a frustrated Jessica Andrade who's wondering, why did I come up to 125 for this?
This is the fight that we're going to argue about. But go ahead. Keep going on.
Oh, man. Apparently, I'm picking all dogs on this card because I got another dog. I got Miss Chukhigan. I got the blonde fighter. I think it's going to be a bad night.
I need to ask you this. Did you listen to a recent interview? Yes, no, maybe so.
No, I didn't. What interview are you referring to?
She's talking about how she wants to retire and be a mom.
Oh, dude, trust me. I've been hearing this for quite a while now. After each fight, she's been.
But she's like, "Oh, I want one more go." When do you think you're gonna get another title shot? Please enlighten me. When the next 15 years?
Dude, she's been saying. Chukhigan's been saying after each one of her fight, after her last fight, she's like, "I don't care who I fight. I just want to fight someone else. I want to be a mom." That's the whole thing with this entire division, which is why Jillian's going to take it over because they're all 35-year-old women who want to get pregnant and have kids.
But you know who's taking it over before her? Her opponent.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Because, I think that Chukhigan is going to use that mom power. She doesn't want to get knocked out. She doesn't want to get submitted. She's going to just be on her bike. 15 minutes of kickboxing. She's going to outland her 2.5 to 1 in significant strikes.
She doesn't do that against anybody.
She's going to do it here. She's going to do it
for the first time ever?
Yes. Just like for the first time ever in her last fight against Shevchenko.
You want to go down the list?
Just like in the last fight with Shevchenko, she'd never used her grappling and never actually and she finally did. I'm not saying she's going to finish Andrade. I didn't say that. I'm just saying she's going to outland her. And it's going to win a decision in the quiet Abu Dhabi arena. Yeah.
Oh my God!
And over. I'm
muting.
That's gonna be all the MMA cappers losing all their money because everybody's like Andraj.
No. So I have actual statistical analysis as to why the hell Chukhigan loses this damn fight. Okay. Let's look at the numbers. This woman gets outstruck by Joanne Calderwood. She gets outstruck by Jessica Ai. She gets outstruck by Alexa Davis. She gets outstruck by none other than Mara Romero Borella.
But she wins. But she wins.
Yeah, because of BS. She should have won that fight. Let's get it real. Okay, she's not gonna go against a fighter like Andraj that's gonna come forward. She's gonna rough her up. You're talking Caitlin legit has to fight the picture perfect fight of her jabbing and running away for 15 minutes because Andraj.
You're telling me you can't see her doing that?
Absolutely not. No. Because how many people, even Jacek was getting hit by her. That doesn't mean she was getting hit a lot because Jacek is levels above Andraj, but she was getting hit.
Man.
Yes, of course, but Andraj was still hitting her. I don't think Chukhigan could get hit like that. She definitely cannot stuff takedowns at all whatsoever. If she goes for a takedown. She's getting taken down.
She ain't going for no takedowns.
Why not? It's going to come easily, with ease. Like it won't. It literally be like her taking the knife and just cutting butter. That's how easy it'll be for her. Just take it down like that. Easy. She's easy to take down, and on top of it, she's easily controlled as well. She gets controlled on 15% of her fights. She gets controlled on the mat. 15%. Joe. Freaking Calderwood took her down 3 times and controlled her on the mat for 1.5 rounds. Andraj can do that times 10 because she controls 25% of her fights on the mat. 25%. So if she decides that she wants to take this to the ground, she's getting it to the ground and she's keeping it on the ground. She has multiple avenues of victory here, Andraj, where Chukhigan legit has to run and jab for 15 minutes. Just run. Just run. She's coming forward. Chukhigan has absolutely no power in her punches, so it's not going to face her whatsoever. She's going to rough her up, take her down.
But what about this? The blonde fighter's got a brain.
No, she doesn't. What brain does she have? Alexis Davis,
Mark Henry's brain,
Jessica
Mark Henry's brain,
Joe Calderwood. Wait, Mark Henry? We're talking about Mark Henry. You're talking about the guy that lost half of his fighters to American Top Team, right? That Mark Henry? That
Mark Henry.
The declining Frankie Edgar Mark Henry. Like that's his claim to fame right now because that's the only fighter that still trains with Mark Henry is Frankie Edgar. That's it. Everybody left because
we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one.
We're gonna have to because I don't think Chukhigan.
Yeah. You're gonna be hearing that, and it's just like imagine that you're losing your mind.
It's gonna be slowly faded away when Andraj is barreling forward, knocking her unconscious with her right hand. Because God forbid, this is the first fighter ever that has power at 125 pounds. She's the only legit
5'9" versus 5'1".
It doesn't matter. She's always been undersized. You're talking about she's fought.
She's even more undersized.
But she's
Why
fought.
do you think she was cutting off a leg to make 115?
Oh, bro, she fought 135 pounds.
Yeah, I understand.
And she's fighting girls out with 5'7", 5'8". She fought Larissa Pacheco, who's a 145-pound fighter. She's 145 pounds. She beat her. She took her down. She beat the crap out of her. 125 pounds ain't nothing for her. She's just short. Yes, she comes forward. She'll take a punch. She'll take a couple punches. But I bet you damn ass she can't take one punch from her. Chukhigan is going to be like, oh, shit, she punches different than all the other bitches that I just fought. I could damn well
jab and run, Caitlin. Jab and run.
This is gonna be a good one, man. This is gonna be an interesting fight because I know a lot of people. I see a lot of people on Chukhigan like yourself, and I see a lot of people on Jaws just like myself as well. So it's gonna be
MMA. It's women's MMA at the end of the day.
It is, and that's what makes this sport so amazing because anything can happen, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All right. we're finally up to our main event of the evening, the fight that we've actually been waiting for a while because of
fucking great fight.
We've been waiting for this fight for a while. There's been a lot of animosity between these two, so I'm
pop stars getting slapped in bathrooms.
Yeah, this is gonna be a great one. All right, we have a fight at 145 pounds between former title contender Brian Ortega back after 2-year layoff, taking on the Korean Zombie Chan Sung Jung. Right now, the Korean Zombie is a -185 favorite to come back on Ortega is a +160 underdog. What do you got?
I watched this one early in the week. I've been tape studying it for a couple weeks now, and I saw the price early in the week, and I was waiting around thinking I was going to get a better price on who I was betting. Get to today, nope, not going to happen. I'm on the Korean Zombie here. I love him in this matchup. I think that Ortega and that willingness to just go forward and trade 3 shots to take to hit one, like it's just, this is not the guy to do it against. I think he's gonna have a false confidence here, and I don't think he's gonna be able to take more than a few of those flurries from a guy like the Korean Zombie. I think this one could be over pretty early within the first 2 rounds. I don't know what the under 2.5 is, but I'm sure it's minus something. If it's under -2, I'd like that shot. But
it's -120.
I like that. I think that's a good price. I think that covers up if you have, or if Ortega is able to get a hold of that neck early in the round 1, or so, because that is where he can submit anybody early in the round if he gets the neck. So if that happened, I'd love to have the backup of the -120 cover here. Especially since I'm already on a Korean Zombie who's -185. So. I got Zombie all day. I'm just think that he gets the finish. I think he's better. I think he's better on the feet by such a huge margin.
Not just a huge, massive margin.
Yeah, by a massive margin. And then I think he can grapple and will be able to keep it from getting to the feet, getting to the ground. So I think Ortega is going to be very comfortable. And fighters, we saw with Frankie Edgar, we've seen with a lot of fighters, they think they can trade with the Zombie, and they can't, and they go down like violently. We saw with Moicano the same thing.
Let's not forget Chan Sung Jung knocked Frankie Edgar and Renato Moicano out of this division. Edgar dropped to 135, and Moicano went up to 155 after his.
And Edgar had been finished one other time previous to this.
Yeah. So he knocked them senseless. They're like, nah, chill. I'm done. I'm out. I'm over.
And this is 2 years off for Ortega, coming back against a guy who's like just in a rhythm, had 2 years off due to military service. So he doesn't have this huge amount of mileage a lot of guys in this division have. He looks really good. He's looked confident all week. I love the Korean Zombie in this spot, and I just was hoping people were going to be hanging on to Ortega in that jiu-jitsu, but it's not happening. So he's a parlay piece for sure, and inside the distance I like, as well as the under 2.5 as a little bit of a backup. I like it. I like all those plays.
I'm all over the Korean Zombie here. Literally, Ortega is sub or bust. And even that's a slim possibility. I know people are like, oh my God, but Ortega is this high level jiu-jitsu black belt and this and that. No, okay. Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, is a very high level jiu-jitsu fighter as well. He's never ever been submitted in his fights in his entire MMA career. Never, ever, ever, ever. Okay. He's the first guy to ever have a twister in the UFC, which is unheard of to get until Bryce Mitchell did it and almost did it again. But different breeds. And the way he did it at that time, it was a thing of beauty. And then he finished Dustin Poirier. When Poirier was at 145, and then he fought for the belt already, 145 pounds against prime Jose Aldo. and he went the almost the distance with him. He went 4 rounds with him, and he was beating the dog shit out of Yair Rodriguez, and unfortunately was on the wrong end of one of the greatest knockouts in UFC history. It is what it is, but he was winning that fight like it wasn't even close up until that point. But then he came back and he knocked out Moicano within seconds, 58 seconds. He knocked out Moicano. Moicano was one of the best at 145 at that time. Then he came back and knocked out Edgar senseless, knocked his ass to 135. So Ortega legit has to pray that he could get this shit to the mat because he is going to be in a world of hurt on the feet.
And Ortega's been discussing how he's willing to get into a war on the feet.
Yeah, he's an idiot if he discusses that whatsoever because that's the stupidest thing.
He said he's totally fine with it.
Well, you know why he's saying this stuff?
He's like, let's get the hospital ready for both of us.
That's beyond dumb. And the reason why he's talking like this is because his number one, cornerman is not there in Gracie. He's not in his corner due to COVID. So he's not able to make the travel. This, I think, is the first time that Gracie has not been in his corner in his UFC career. So I think that's going to be a massive disadvantage here for Ortega as well. I just don't see how Ortega wins this fight. He literally has to take this fight to the mat. He's a bad offensive grappler to begin with. So he's pretty much going to have to take a limb, drag him to the mat, and try to sub him off his back. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think Ortega is going to try his best to get this to the mat, but he's going to get his ass beat to a bloody pulp on the feet, and he's going to get finished inside the distance all day.
This is my only favorite on the main card.
Look at that.
I have 4 dogs and a favorite for the main card. So I agree. I think that, if I'm really getting my confident ones in here, I got Chan Sung Chung for sure, Jillian for sure, Jong Young Park for sure, Grisham for sure, Saeed Nurmagomedov for sure. That would be my locks. I get those are all favorites, but those are my locks.
I like all that. But
what's Martinez too?
What's the greasy parlay though?
So the greasy parlay for this week. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna go Saeed Nurmagomedov inside the distance.
All right, hold on. Let me get
inside the distance. I'm doing inside the distance because that's what I have to do on Bovada. So I get better with these. But Saeed inside the distance, Grisham inside the distance, Park inside the distance.
Park.
Jillian inside the distance.
Park inside the distance. Damn, Jillian inside the distance. Okay, all the inside the distance.
And we'll finish with Chan Sung Chung inside the distance. Does that get me to 4 digits?
I think it does. Or at least close to it.
Give me at least 800.
4 digits. Oh yeah, definitely 4 digits. It's been way over 4 digits, massively over 4 digits.
What we got?
Plus 4,345.
Let's go and just go ahead and give a recap real quick for that.
All right,
4 grand parlay.
Is Saeed Nurmagomedov wins inside the distance plus 275. Maxime Grisham wins inside the distance minus 165. Park wins inside the distance plus 105. Jillian Robertson wins inside the distance minus 125. And Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, wins inside the distance at plus 100 to win plus 4,345.
For 5 fights. Those 5 fights. Come on. Let's go.
Guys, $10 wins you $434.50.
And, if that comes in, you can let me know next week. That's it. That's all I got to say. I'm going to do that. You should do it too. have some fun. If we find out real quick that Saeed decides to get a decision, we get to load it back up, baby.
That's true. And you still
do 5-5 if you want. Do 5-5 if you're that scared.
You still get that 4 digits. Still get the 4 digits.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is but Jillian -125 inside the distance. That's beautiful.
And that's telling you something there too, that they know.
Yeah. I think that's great. You know, I do think there's always the potential with her ground and pound getting a TKO like Sfrota style as well. So you got that does protect from that, because I'm sure her submission is even, right?
Her submission is plus 155
Okay, so that's actually still worth doing. But yeah, I mean, Espinosa, in case you don't know, these juicy parlays, they do come in. So go ahead and join us, man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. After Jillian wins, I'll really be able to kick back and relax a little more. But honestly, I'm not too worried right now. Either way, I'm looking forward to this card. It starts a little bit early. I believe it starts at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Really? That's
so
because boxing at 10 p.m.
So they had to move it around a little bit. But either way, I'll be watching. And yeah, good luck on the bets, everybody. That juicy parlay, that fiver, that's going to be gorgeous.
Absolutely. Gorgeous. Before we head out, guys, you know, I always have to shout out our sponsors. Guys, head over to manscaped.com to get the best male grooming products on the market to make that junk feeling and smelling great. Use promo code TFTA20 for 20% off your order plus free shipping. Also, guys, head over to Just Blaze Clothing for some of the dopest, products on the market. They sell some of the best, apparel out there, especially for MMA. They got a ton of MMA fighters on their backing as well. Use promo code TFA10 for 10% off your order there. My man, Aaron, where can everyone find you on social media?
So you can find me over my Twitter, even though my Twitter most of the time ain't talking about fights, but you can find me over on there, Aaron Jay Brooks. If you like some movie news, if you like some movie podcasts, do a lot of those over there.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, shout out to Jamin. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, but Espinoza. Been enjoying having you here tonight. We're here every Thursday, 8 p.m.
Thursday, 8 p.m.
And get used to it. And, I definitely won't always be so emotionally invested in the fight like I am with Jillian. But, yeah, other than that.
You should have got that spray paint again like last time.
I know. I didn't get that. I don't have the hair dye yet, but the Cougar hair dye is in the mail. I left in DC and it's on its way here, but it'll be red for the fight. I guarantee it. And the max
gotta get that on video. Gotta get on video.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. The max bet's already locked in, but yeah, we'll be back here next Thursday. Definitely we'll be here 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll probably have an interview sometime early in the week with Jillian as well. Catch up with her once she lands back in Florida and everything, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, it's been fun as always. So I'm looking forward to these fights and feel a lot more confident about them after talking to you, especially about a few I wasn't able to get the tape on. So
absolutely, man. That's what we're here for. We talk this shit over. We get it down pat so we can make this money for not just for us, but for all of our viewers as well. That's what we're here for. We're here
including UFC fighter Jillian Robertson. Started with $50. She's up to $975.
She's kicking ass. Kicking ass. All right, guys. You guys know where to find me on Twitter at Fight Analyst and The Fight Analyst on Instagram and Facebook. You guys head over to thefightanalyst.com and get my package right now. We have boxing and UFC this weekend. We're going to absolutely kill it. So don't miss out. We will see you guys cashing out at the ticket window. Until next time, you guys have a great night.